Good morning, YouTube. It's Joseph Green here. You know what? I've not done a blog for, say, a couple of months now. And you know what? I'm getting a lot of nice comments from people. Because we can all see that people are awakening. And very quickly at that. I think the first awakening, now this is not going to all be about flat earth, it's going to be about a mixture of stuff. But I think the first awakening was definitely flat earth, and that's been happening for about 5 years now. And people are actually realising, once you research one thing, you actually realise that there's lies about everything else. And when you research flat earth, then it comes into the government, and then it comes into NASA, and then it comes into the Queen, and then it comes into the Vatican City, and it comes into the final destination is the American fucking government, you know, and all the shit that comes with it, and then it goes from that, it stems from that to the banking system, to sports personalities, the famous musicians. Now you've got to ask yourself, why is it musicians and famous stars, you like some movie stars and that, always seem to get popped off or miraculously die out of no unknown reason? They always come out with saying like it's a drug overdose and all that kind of stuff. Or if anybody speaks out about it, I mean, just for instance, that Japanese girl, I'm not wanting to say a name just in case I get fucking, triggered, but a name, the tennis player, she decided to say, well, I'm not speaking to the media because they're full of shit. I'll say something and then the media will bounce it back saying something else. So she says, just don't want to speak to the media. And they're like, well, you're out. Take a 10 grand fine as well and you're out. And she's like, yeah, no problem. This seems to be the common thing nowadays, is media is the thing and media is the lie. Everything else about media, if you watch TV, you're a fucking fool. I only watch the news now and again so I could turn everything upside down. That's the only way forward. You turn it upside down what you see on the news, on the TV. But how is it their lives? Now you've got to ask yourself this, folks. How is it their lives can continue to operate, i.e. acting, newsreaders, sports personalities, up to the main chain. They can all carry on with their lives, but we're all told to be staying in. It might spread, it's asymmetric. I had another girl, I mean, she was barely 16, and she's like, I says, where's the flu gone? And she goes, it's there. But it's asymmetric. She probably doesn't even know what the fuck that means. But you know what, we were amongst a lot of people. It was at my kids' football, and I didn't want to go and jump down her throat. She's 16. That's the learning age, if you know what I mean. That's the sheep age. I didn't want to jump down her throat and say, you don't even know what asymmetric means. And anyway, what I said to them, and now you've got to listen to this. If they want you to wear masks and get vaccinated, why shut the economy down? This is what I'm trying to get to people. Listen, they're getting vaccinated. They're getting 2, 3, 4 fucking vaccinations with a flu vac on top of it as well. We have masks on, some of them double masks. They're fucking zombies, but they're still shutting down the economy. Does that not tell you something? They're not wanting the economy to open. They want the rich to be... They want you sitting in your house, watching TV, paying for all the shit, because soon you're going to own nothing. Nothing. You're going to be hiring or renting. That's the way they say it. By 2025 you will own nothing and you'll be happy. Well, sure as fuck I'll own nothing, and I still own nothing to this day because I don't have any debt. And that's the best way to work, people. Do not take debt. Do not rent cars. Do not fucking mortgage houses. If you can buy anything, buy it. But the sports are comical, especially F1. F1's a fucking joke. It's like Skeletrix. I used to play Skeletrix when I was younger, and the things you put on the slats with electric, touch. You know what I mean. F1 is about as much fun as watching a cabbage patch field grow. I'm not being funny. It's a fucking joke. MotoGP and World Superbikes, I mean, that's fucking fantastic. You can put the age on them, but they idiots still seem to manage to, take the physics of bike and brakes and rubber and to the extreme, and it's fantastic. And as far as football players come along, you know, these fuckers that just fall over, Neymar especially, he's a fucking muppet and all. He's another muppet. He's another Lewis Hamilton. Whereas he just falls over at the drop of a hat, and yet these MotoGP riders fall off their bike at 120 mile an hour, look around to try and pick their bike up again and get back on it again. These football players are a fucking disgrace as well. And football is a disgrace as well with the wages they're on. Now, the world is in that much of a state. Now, let me put this out there. The world is that much of a state, and there's that little money out there, and there's that much debt and trouble over money. See all these sports personalities and football players and famous people could all get together and stop this from happening with their monetary system alone. And cryptocurrency, well, that's coming, boys. I'll tell you what, banking systems are the ruin of all this earth. The cryptocurrency, I'll give you a wee tip. If you didn't get a crypto by August, you're fucked. Because next year banks are shutting down. This year crypto is VeChain and Ocean Protocol, Chainlink and Ethereum. If you didn't get into them by the end of August or beginning of August, you could be left in the dark, to be fair. I'm just out just having a shit Starbucks coffee. It's the best of all the rest of the shit it's going about. So, you know, soya milk. So I'm not drinking that fucking cow's fucking tampered shit with. But the awake, actually the sheeple are awakening. Everybody else is going, I never fucking thought of that. And you know what? It's the same as a flat earth, right? Listen, I'm not being funny, people. But you've got to understand this. This is one thing, right? I could easily say to you. They say the world spins at 1,008 miles per hour. And it's travelling around the sun at 66,600 miles an hour. And it's going through infinite space. Travelling through infinite space, people, right? At one, you know what? I think it's 1,000 or 100,000 miles an hour. Now you calculate that. Our heads must be fucking mush. And there's another one thing I'm going to say. The stars are always in the same place every night. The same stars. So if you're travelling through infinite space at 100,000 miles an hour, how the fuck do these stars stay in the same place? Come on, it's a fucking wakey scenario. It's a fucking sheeple. NASA take 53 million a day off the taxpayers in America, as if they don't pay enough as it is, to con them of saying they've been on the moon. I mean, I'm never a Bible thumper or nothing like that, but the Bible clearly state, and all the religions and everything else, is it's a light source. The sun's a light source. The moon's a light source. Last time I remember, the closer you got to heat or the source of heat, it got hotter. Well, go and fly up in the sky at 45,000 feet. It's minus fucking 45. Because it's a light source. It's not a fucking big ball of heat they say it is. Put that in your fucking pipe and smoke it. You need to do research. It's no research actually, it's just fucking common sense. And you're up in a plane and you open your eyes and you see it, it's flat. It's fucking flat. Nothing else. Anyway, I'm going to put a couple of links in below of me being slated from, it's Team Skeptic they're called, but it's probably the American CIA. And that was about 4 years ago I got slated from them. And I actually awoke about 4.5 years ago. And you know what, I was a bit of a shock to the system at the start, but thankfully I've kind of grew to absolutely accept it. And I'm going to put a link on this guy called Hibbler, and the boy is on the money. He proves that it's all a big fucking lie and a conception. You've got to ask yourself, people, why are they shutting the economy down if people are getting vaccinated with the mass? Why do they have to shut it down? They're telling you need 3, 4, 5 injections. And the Indian variant, oh, that's another thing, Indian variant. Now, people just went to Portugal from the UK to get away on holiday, and then while they're there, they've told them, no, you need to quarantine to come back home. Now, I'm not being funny. The UK government have just come out the EU, and the reason they've come out the EU is so they could play funny fucks with everybody else. They're obviously saying there's an Indian variant. It's the reason how is to shut down India. But they're probably just really behind the scenes doing a trading war with India, as in, you'll give us this or you'll give us that, or we'll shut your economy down, because we'll say there's an Indian strain and no fucker will come to your country and we'll destroy it like they destroy Turkey, Tunisia, Spain, Portugal, and said they're all on the amber or the red list. Go where the fuck you want. It's just fucking bullshit. I mean, I would gladly go away myself, but you know, I get fucking locked up because I'll never succumb to their bullshit. So I won't go in the hotel, I won't quarantine, I won't do their fucking masks, I won't do that shit. So you know what? There's no way fucking chance in hell I'm getting away. So I'm going to leave it at that. I appreciate all the lovely comments I've been getting lately, and I think it's the fact is people are actually starting to realise that, you know, I've only got a voice. I mean, I'm no the expert, I'm no nothing like that, but you know, it's just common sense. And when common sense prevails, it does prevail, or the truth prevails. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better, but I think eventually the sheep will wake up, and I think a major war's coming. But I think World War III is on now. Believe it or not, World War III is against us, against crowd. Oh, that's another thing is, soon they'll need the police and the army, but you know why? Because the 5G they're doing. I've read into this now, I've done a bit of research, and the 5G they're doing, you notice they're changing all the lampposts. And all the lampposts have got receivers on it, and yeah, what do you call it? It's like it's a receiver, it connects to other electrical devices. Soon they're not going to need the army or anything like this, because the fact is, if we go out of our house and we kind of, as you would nip out and try and deceptively go and see somebody else. It's ironic to say it, but to go and see somebody else, and you sneakily go out the house and maybe see a lass or whatever, they're going to turn on the 5G and say, whoa, there's somebody coming out the door, turn the 5G on, and it's the microwave technology, and you're not going to be able to leave the fucking street soon. But this is all coming, it's going to get worse before it gets better, but it's going to get better soon. I've got faith in it. But anyway, thanks for the nice comments, and I'm going to put a couple of links in below, and a couple of things that you can maybe watch and all that sort of stuff, and I'll do another blog shortly again. Over now.